Greetings, people of Earth. Welcome back. My name is Jax, and today it is another fortune cookie wisdom. So, here we go. Okay. Others are attracted to your endearing warmth. Okay. What do we mean by endearing warmth? Others are attracted to your endearing warmth. I think endearing warmth has a lot to do with just being genuine. You know, when you meet somebody and you think, man, they're so warm, they're so inviting, they're so honest. I think when we talk about someone as like a warm, approachable, comfortable person, like you just feel comfortable with them, I think that has a lot to do with being a genuine human being, being genuinely interested in what the other person has to say, while sort of providing your own context or your own ideas and being able to have that kind of enjoyable conversation, rapport, connection. And so your endearing warmth is probably just that genuine interest in the other person. You know, I think so much of today's world is separated from each other. We meet on dating apps. We don't ever actually meet each other. We might run into each other, or we've heard of each other through the grapevine, through mutual people. But so little of it involves just genuine face-to-face human connection and conversation. I recently did a TikTok about how so few people on dating apps can hold a decent conversation. So few people that you meet, you know, my friends included, don't really know how to hold a conversation in sort of like a long-term way. You know, like we can have short-term conversations and we laugh and we enjoy, but that skill of being like a true conversationalist who, you know, asks interesting questions, thought-provoking, is genuinely interested and curious about the other person's experience, and maybe asks those deeper questions, that is a really rare skill. You know, there are a lot of videos on social media where an interviewer will walk around a public place like a beach or New York's Times Square or Central Park or any of these places. And the interviewer often asks really interesting, deep questions right off the bat. And these videos are always so interesting. And, you know, the guy will go right up to a couple and say, hi, how long have you been dating? And it's an older couple, and they'll say, oh, well, we've actually been married for 60 years or whatever. And then he'll ask these deep questions about like love and philosophy and how you think the world is going. And you experience this really interesting conversation. And although it is like a staged interview, you really get to feel as though you relate to the person. You know, the older lady telling you about her experiences after her husband died and, you know, what it was like finding him and the connection that they had. You feel so connected to these people. And it's the same with that Instagram account that's like the real people of New York, where the guy literally has just spent his life telling the stories of these people. And the stories are nothing absolutely exceptional. You know, like he isn't interviewing the president of the United States. He's not interviewing, you know, people who have abolished slavery. He is interviewing everyday, ordinary people, and yet their stories are so fascinating and interesting. And if you can cultivate a genuine curiosity for other people, I think you can also generate that endearing warmth that we're talking about here. And as the fortune cookie says, other people are attracted to your endearing warmth. Having that genuine curiosity and interest in other people and expressing that, and, you know, finding a real passion in life, I think that's what generates that endearing warmth that we're talking about. And just like a moth to a flame, people are so fascinated by passionate, thoughtful, caring, good people. It's incredible that I find that sometimes I go down rabbit holes when I'm talking to someone, and I'll start talking about why I got into archery, why I'm really into baking, horseback riding, hiking, biking, going to the gym, personal fitness, my health. I will go down these rabbit holes where I get super, super passionate about a topic. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just so interested in it. And if someone's a good conversationalist who's genuinely curious of what I have to say, they ask questions and they get me talking about this stuff and they get me all passionate. And not only am I more attracted to those people and more drawn to them because they're asking these questions and they're genuinely curious about it, but they often tell me, man, it was so attractive listening to you talk about how passionate you are about this thing, or like wildlife conservation or whatever it was. People often tell me like, man, yeah, that's really what it did it for me. And that's why, like, we became friends, was because you were just so adamant and passionate about this subject. And it was really interesting. And it really brought me into this whole sphere of getting to know who you are and wanting to get to know you. And just like for me, them asking those questions, them taking a genuine interest in who I am, I found that so attractive. Whether it was a friend, someone I ended up dating, just went on a good date, that inherent interest and warmth and genuine curiosity is so incredibly appealing and so attractive. I literally want to go closer to these people because it genuinely feels like they have an interest in who I am, what I have to say, what I'm doing, where I want to go. And it's not hard to then from that point imagine maybe this is someone that I could be with long term, who makes me better, who amps me up, who hypes me up, who can critique me and make sure that I am staying true to my goals and to what I'm focused on and to what I'm passionate about. And I think that is one of the greatest ways to attract someone. If you're someone who struggles with the dating apps and struggles with many of these things, I think it is a genuinely beautiful concept to just ask these thought-provoking questions, really get curious about people. If you see someone on a dating app with pictures of something that you're curious about, maybe they're skiers, maybe they go hiking or biking, maybe they love to go out dancing, and just asking them like, hey, where's the best place in your city to go dancing? Where's the best place to go hiking? What got you into skiing? How long have you been skiing for? Asking those genuinely interesting questions, taking the time to foster that genuine curiosity, that creates the warmth. That creates the endearing warmth that we're talking about in this video. And I know I'm giving you the context in the context of like dating, because that's kind of like my sphere of what is very relevant in my age group and what everyone around me is talking about. But this can apply to absolutely anything, whether you're in school, whether you are in the workplace, whether you want to genuinely connect with a boss or an employer or a family member or whatever it may be. This idea of like endearing warmth, being genuinely curious and interested in what someone has to say and learning from them, it's motiveless. Like if you go into a situation without the motive and just say, I want to get to know this person, you'll find that amazing things happen. You'll find that you'll get recommended to talk to this person, or, oh, you should come spend some time with me in this country, or, come here, do this, or, I've got a really interesting project you might be interested in. You will be amazed at the doors that just not having a motive and just going in and being genuinely interested and curious in other people, that opens so many doors, that opens so many connections. And you don't have to think of it in that way, but there is a huge amount of untapped potential in just being interested and curious of what people have to say. And this is one of those things I did with my grandparents, and it's how I really, truly bonded with all four of my grandparents. I just started sitting down with them, recording their stories, recording who they are, asking deep questions about life, death, marriage, family, staying healthy, how to have a 60+ year marriage. I just asked these deep questions because I was interested in their stories and where I came from and how it all happened. And through that, I formed bonds with my grandparents that have been stronger than like the vast majority of other relationships I've had in my life. And it was all motiveless. It was all because I just was inherently and genuinely curious and interested in what was going on and what went on. And you can apply this to anything. So others are attracted to your endearing warmth. It is a statement that is so incredibly true. It is so accurate. I believe that if you truly embrace it, you can become the center of an entire community based on positivity and making your world better and making yourself better and the people around you better. And it is one of those pieces of advice that doesn't seem truly groundbreaking or amazing or interesting. Like, it very much sounds like a fortune cookie wisdom, but truly applying the concepts and trying to embrace that endearing warmth, that connection, that friendliness, that just someone to talk to, shoulder to cry on, that kind of personality is so successful in our culture, in the world. Like, the humans that really embrace this warmth and endearing warmth, genuine curiosity and interest in other people, and who are unapologetically themselves, who know what they love and love what they do. Those people might not be president of the United States, they might not be the head of NATO, but they are people that we are all drawn to. They are people that live without regret, and that every single person with this kind of characteristic that I've ever talked to has always said, oh my God, I live such a blessed life. I live such an amazing life. Like, the things that I got to do and how lucky I was to be around the people that I am, those people are the most successful in terms of life satisfaction. And that's a really underrated thing in our world. You know, it's if you want to be successful now, it's making millions of dollars, it's having a beautiful wife, it's having your kids get into Harvard. But true life satisfaction and like looking at your life and going, yeah, I really loved what I did and I had such a beautiful time, like I wouldn't change anything. That kind of concept, so powerful, so important. And it should be the focus of every single philosophy class. It should be the focus of every single lesson that parents teach their children. Cultivating that endearing warmth and genuine curiosity for the world. The fact that we exist is so insane. It's so insane that we have the ability to express ideas, and, you know, we don't have to be hunting in the jungle for our daily bread. Like, I know it's hard for many of us, and, you know, that's by the by, but our problems today are so much different than the problems of previous generations, than the problems of other people in the world right now. And so it's your duty to genuinely find what you love, make the world a better place, and connect with people that you want to be with. So thank you so much. Others are attracted to your endearing warmth, and the more you can let that show, the more people are gonna be drawn to you and make your life a better place. Your lucky numbers are 1, 6, 20, 23, 46, and 48. And thank you so much for listening. And as always, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.